Hey golfers, Sebastian here, and in this video we're going to show you how to use the Golf Boks to improve your putting. We're going to go over how to create a consistent setup, club path, and improve your speed control, as well as a couple ways to use it to control your body better throughout the putting stroke. When it comes to creating a consistent setup, there's three things that the Golf Boks is going to help you focus on. First, we're going to focus on ball position. So what we've got here is an alignment stick in the middle of the box, and it's just going to point right through to the middle of it, and I'm going to put my ball to start with just in front of that. So if you can see, the leading edge of my putter is lined up with the line right here, and the alignment stick that comes out, and my ball is just ahead of that. So I'm going to always set the ball up in the exact same spot. Next, we're going to use the long edge of the box for alignment, and we're going to make sure that our feet are lined up straight with that. And then finally, we're going to use the graphics on this side of the box, marked stance width, to always set up our stance in the exact same width. So our feet are always pointing at the exact same squares on the box. So all we're going to do is we're going to make sure that every time we set up, ball goes in the same spot, feet are lined up straight, and the exact same width apart. Ball in the same spot. Make sure your feet are lined up with the long edge of the box and the same width apart every time. One of the most common mistakes that's easy to fix for you is to just set up the exact same way every time consistently, and that will help you get your stroke more consistent. The second thing we're going to use the Golf Boks to work on is actually our club path. So we've actually designed the front face of the box to be a 70-degree putting plane. It works very similar to other training aids, and all you do is you put your putter, the heel, right on the face of the box, and then you just practice stroking it, keeping that heel on the box the entire time. You can even see that the graphics that we put on it are meant to mimic the up and down path and arc of your putter head throughout the whole stroke. So very simply, you can just make putting strokes feeling the heel of your club staying on the box the whole time. Make it a little more challenging. You could add a tee to it, just the width of your putter. And so one way to do it is you can keep your heel on the box, and you can see you're never going to hit that tee. To challenge yourself a little bit more, you might move just barely off of it and see if you can not hit the box and not hit the tee the whole time. After some practice strokes, put a ball in, make sure your setup's consistent, and roll it. Simple, you can just make some practice strokes without a ball, put a ball in, repeat your setup. Repeat that drill over and over again, and you'll create a very consistent stroke and a more consistent club path. The third thing we're going to use the Golf Boks to work on is our speed on the greens. The Golf Boks is specifically good for dialing in the stroke length of your putts. What we've done is we've actually marked graphics on it with 10, 20, and 30-foot putting stroke lengths. So you can see this is how big of a putting stroke would be for a 10-footer. And we've marked it on both sides so you can keep your stroke equal. So a 10-foot stroke goes about this far, 20-footer about that far, and the 30-footer a little bit more. And what we've done is you can now take a tee, poke it in where you see the 10-foot mark on either side. So there's your 10-footer and your 10-foot follow through, and it'll give you feedback if your putting stroke gets too long on either side. One of my favorite drills to really nail down the tempo of your stroke is to set the tees in the 10-foot mark, grab a few golf balls, and roll them, trying to get them to end up very close to each other, so that the ball is traveling the same distance every single time. Now obviously this might not go 10 feet for you on your practice greens, but you can just adjust by poking these tees a little further down the box. Okay, and if you have a bigger mallet head, you can also move it back. We really just want it to be so that the leading edge of your club gets a consistent backstroke and follow through every time. If you want to expand to the 20 footers, you just take it, poke it into the 20 footers, and you can repeat the same drill to get that stroke tempo consistent and distance more consistent. This next way to use the golf box is really good for you if you've ever been moving too much in your putting strokes, so your hips or your knees are moving side to side. And basically we've taken two other alignment sticks, we've put them so that they sit just outside of our hips and our knees. And we're just going to make sure that we don't hit those throughout our entire putting stroke. Okay, so if you're moving around too much, you'll hit them, you'll feel them. We want to be rock solid with our lower body and use our shoulders to control this motion. If that's too wide for you, there's multiple holes, so you can just switch over and make it a little tighter on either side. Very simple and a great way to just stabilize the lower body to create a more consistent putting stroke. Alright, so this final way to set up your golf box to work on putting, we like to call it railroad tracks. It's a great way to just get a good visual of your starting line and your stroke path. What you're going to do is you're going to grab two alignment sticks, and we've got a whole bunch of holes on the bottom. You can choose, most of them will work. They're just set about one club head apart from each other. You're just going to poke the alignment sticks through like this so that they go through both sides of the box. You're going to line it up so it's just like that. Basically both sticks are just outside of the hole, and you're going to use that as a simple visual. You want to keep your putter inside of those two alignment sticks throughout the entire stroke. Obviously you don't have to be that close to the hole to practice it, but this is a great way to get your stroke on a very similar path every time. Back it up. Again, make sure you're aiming it well. And what I like to do is get really close to the back of the box so that helps me control the length of my stroke in the backswing. Alright, and there you have it, a whole bunch of different ways to use the golf box to improve your setup, your stroke, and your speed control on the greens. If you like this video, make sure to check out our instructional page. We've got a whole bunch of different videos on there on different ways to use the golf box to work on any part of your game that you want. Thanks for watching this video and learning a little bit more about the #1 box in golf. Bye!